tonight.
Performing it live
working on
for
this
the first time.
You guys get to hear it for the first time, and then 2 greatest hits at the end, and you leave happy. You never think about the song.
No, in the middle at all. You never look into it. Gosh, who else could get on there? Still need a closer for Sunday for stage 3, and we need closers Saturday, Friday for 2 and 1. Oh gosh.
You want something? What genre are we going for here?
Well, we got to put somebody on the Glorilla stage on Saturday to end it all.
Someone big or someone old?
Lil
Wayne's everywhere.
Wheezy on Saturday.
Come on.
Wheezy, he did perform. He no-showed. That's right. So he owes us one.
He owes us.
So Wheezy on Saturday on the Glorilla stage.
Right.
What are our thoughts on Big X the Plug? Any thoughts? Is he big enough and or small enough to close on a Friday? Like, could we?
I don't think he's big enough to close
on a Friday. So, but we can stick him in front of Glow on Sunday.
Yeah, it could be
on
an
Sunday.
opener.
Okay. That Mexican OT. Thoughts on him closing? He would have to open. You're looking at me like he's.
I don't know him.
Oh, regular Jacob was like, CJ, you got to listen to that Mexican OT.
I'm unfamiliar with his work.
Regular Jacob, other Jacob.
Great hits like Johnny Dang, Twisting Fingers.
That Mexican OT.
La Cobra.
Is really, really good. He's one of my favorite rappers out right now. All right. And we still have a stage with nobody on
Okay,
it.
can we book my song that I was listening to this morning?
What was it?
Panic at the Disco, 9 in the afternoon.
That's such a good song.
It's a great song. It was a great way to start the morning.
Such a good song.
Even your cold soul this morning would have been warmed by 9 in the afternoon.
My soul is not cold. My soul burns with the passion and the rage of a billion suns right now.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mischaracterized your soul.
Get it right. Is Panic a Friday thing?
Sure.
All right, so we
at this point, when's the last time Panic toured?
I don't know. Didn't they just dropped a song?
I mean, we haven't had them as a college
ago.
Football theme song in at least 4 years.
They dropped a really good song like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, they're going on tour.
When?
Right now.
Are they coming here? Everybody's coming here.
Oh, no. Sorry.
Okay.
They were only playing at that Vegas When We Were Young fest.
Okay.
That got canceled, but it's been rescheduled for October 18th, 2025. So they can come to our next River Beat Festival as well. We're just trying to plan festivals here in Memphis. Don't worry about it. It's Tuesday. It is December 17th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, happy Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl Day to all who celebrate. The Memphis Tigers will end their season tonight against West Virginia. We had 2 Thursday night football games last night. Why do I keep doing this? 2 Monday night. I'm just trying to hop on to the end of the week every time we do this. That's 2 weeks in a row. 2 Monday night football games. They were games. They were played on a Monday. That's about it. Mike Wallace will join us to talk about the Grizzlies in the second segment. We'll also talk about the NBA Cup, the final tonight between the Thunder and the Bucks. Will Coleman will join us to talk Tigers back in the rankings and Penny Hardaway's Ask for the Fans here in Memphis. We'll end with a little TV Tuesday. Do not worry, Sesame Street did not get canceled. I will explain the Sesame Street situation. Also, the Aaron Rodgers documentary drops today, and I want to know, who's it for? Who's watching it? We'll get into all that. We will take care of business on this Tuesday, and I hated it before it even came out of my mouth. But it's a Tuesday. You know what we say.
Panic broke up. Did you know Panic at the Disco broke up?
No, is that why we haven't had a college football bop?
They broke up. That's crazy.
That's so sad.
Get the squad together for this year's Junior Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament. Presented by 2K at the Built Ford Tough practice facility inside FedEx Forum. On Saturday, January 4th, teams will compete in 3 games before advancing to single elimination play. Overall winners from the 10 and under, 12 and under, and 14 and under divisions will win Grizzlies tickets, including exclusive access to the pregame team shoot-around before the Grizz take on the Pelicans January 24th. Sign up today at hoopitup.com/Grizzlies.
Grizzlies are just having fun out there tonight. Morant around a screen. Bumped by Bachner. No look to Smart. Lays it up on the window and in. And it is all Grizz. The Grizzlies have the fans on their feet at FedEx Forum.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering, to those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis. Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Imagine being able to do this when you're not even trying. Imagine saying, I'm not even trying to sing, but then you sing like Whitney Houston. Isn't that crazy? That's what John Morant does. He's not even trying to sing, but he sings like Whitney Houston or Luther Vandross or whoever it is you prefer. He's not even trying to dunk, and he's dunking like that.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Definitely not Friday because we had Monday Night Football last night, not Thursday Night Football last night. And it is a big Tuesday, December 17th, because it's time for the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. CJ, did you wake up with energy in your heart? Did you wake up feeling caffeinated? I woke up feeling caffeinated.
Great.
I know, you're...
Great.
I'm trying to pull the curmudgeon right out of you.
That's exciting. I'm beyond curmudgeon now. Like, this is something different. Warn
the
woke
good
up,
people.
I don't need to warn them a shit. Y'all know what it is. I woke up and was like, oh yeah, the Tigers are playing in the Frisco Bowl today. I did not know that. My favorite thing about bowl season is learning the government names of the bowls, not the nicknames.
Yes.
I've been walking around calling it the Frisco Bowl since the Tigers got in it. Like, oh, they're going to the Frisco Bowl. You said something about the Scooters Coffee Bowl. It's like, oh, shout out to Scooters Coffee, wherever that is. They got a bowl. I didn't know it was the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Yes.
Wow.
My
That Scooters
original-
Coffee is the Frisco Bowl's first name.
Yes, by the end of tonight, Ryan Silverfield could be doused in Scooter's coffee because the game-winning coach will get a coffee bath tonight. My original plan was going to be to drive to the Scooter's Coffee that we have here in Memphis and bring a big ol'
There is a Scooter's Coffee
heaping
here?
cup. There sure is.
Okay.
But I didn't have time because
Where
I
is it?
didn't wake up feeling caffeinated. I wake up tired every day.
Where is it?
It's on Poplar.
Okay, good to know. I thought
It's
that
by
was
the
just...
Indian restaurant. We had this conversation while you were gone. things keep popping up that we talked about on Friday
Hey,
when you weren't here, and
that's
it's
great.
just like,
Good
oh,
stuff.
gotta recap you on everything in this world.
Oh, it's right there by
You know where it is.
Laurelwood.
Yeah, it's the drive-through one.
Got you.
It's
Got
great.
you. Okay, I didn't realize that coffee spot had a bowl game. Anybody can get a damn bowl game.
Except for us.
We need to like if we had a
If
budget,
Snoop
we'd
can
have,
get one
we'd
and
have a bowl
Gronk can
game.
have one, why can't we?
Scooter's Coffee has one.
So this is the third bowl game of the bowl season. And
Celebration Bowl.
Celebration Bowl and
Who's
the
the other one?
IS4S Bowl.
When was that?
That was the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl. That was on Saturday after the Heisman Trophy show. And it popped up, and Chris goes, what the hell is IS4S? Well, I can tell you, it's the Integrated Solutions for Systems Bowl, duh.
Oh,
A dynamic engineering and management company supporting hundreds of government and commercial customers across the globe.
Okay, so what is that?
A dynamic engineering and management company supporting hundreds of government and commercial systems across the globe.
I know what all of those words mean individually.
But they
You put
spell
them
it
together.
cool.
I have no clue. How do they
It's
spell it?
IS, the number 4S. Ooh, edgy. That's how they got a bowl.
That's like Six Slack.
Yeah.
He can be on stage. He can close a Friday, can he?
Perfect.
Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
add him to the list.
There we go.
We put Lil Wayne and Glorilla at, I don't even know how we started talking about this because it's not like River Beat's next festival lineup is even in the news for any
somehow we
reason.
went from Creed to, hey, put him on stage at a
Oh,
festival.
right. That's what.
Yeah.
Well, no. We put Three Doors Down opening for Creed. We still haven't gotten the Creed commercial starting on the Grind.
That's how we got to it. We
That was
want the Creed commercial.
Because I heard it on the radio driving around the other day, and I got really excited because we're gonna get Kryptonite, Arms Wide Open. What's the other Creed song that I heard in the ad? Obviously, there's a ton of them. But anyway, we put Three Doors Down in River Beat Festival this year coming off. But then I saw that the college football playoff is using Wheezy and Glorilla. So we were in the right headspace in putting both of them on the same stage. I am excited for the Memphis Tigers to play in their bowl game tonight. One, because they have a bowl game to play in, and their opponent is still playing in their bowl game, which is great for a West Virginia team where Neil Brown walked away, and they'll have their interim coach for tonight. But it's going to be a new frontier for West Virginia once Rich Rod gets there, but he's not coaching tonight. Part of the bowl festivities was this foaling experience. I believe it's foaling, but throwing a football at bowling pins. I would like to do this. Have you ever seen such a advertisement for bowl games? If you make a bowl game, you too can play this fun game where you throw a football at bowling pins.
Bowl season, like this is part of the good stuff of bowl season, where you get together with your teammates and y'all just go around doing goofy things in this city, having fun together. Beamer brought this up, South Carolina's head coach. I only know this because we did the game that's sweeping the nation or has swept the nation. Who said it on Odds Couple yesterday? And he was like, listen, the playoffs are cool, but it doesn't feel like a bowl game because you're not going to go to Indiana and kick it in, or go to Notre Dame, and kick it in South Bend for 4 days doing a bunch of really fun, goofy, silly types of things. So I would also like to go foaling. So we can set that up
Not
somewhere.
bowling.
No,
Foaling.
foaling. Yeah, foaling.
No, I agree. I am notoriously pro bowl, not the Pro Bowl, but pro bowl games. And West Virginia has a handful of opt-outs and players who have entered the transfer portal. I know they're without their best defensive player, but they at least have enough of a team to go out there and play against Memphis, and Memphis with a chance to win its 11th game of the season, which is a big deal. And the only bowl game that Ryan Silverfield has lost is when he was serving as interim coach for the Cotton Bowl against Penn State, and everyone remembers what Micah Parsons was in that game. But it's a chance for the season to end on a good note for Seth Hennigan. I know John Roser has been leading the One More for Seth movement, hashtag One More for Seth, and all of us at Grind City Media support that movement. But I'm worried about the future of bowl games, so I'm grasping on to this one.
What worries you?
Well, to see what happened with Marshall is concerning. Marshall had so many players in the transfer portal that they had to exit out of their bowl game against Army. Army, the top team in the American, gets left having to play the 5th team in Conference USA because Marshall opted out. Marshall was the Sun Belt champion. This is a champion of a conference who opted out of playing their bowl game. And not really opted out, but was forced to not play their bowl game because so many players entered the transfer portal.
It's Marshall.
Sure.
Marshall's, listen, great that they're Conference USA champions, but those Sun Belt, excuse me. Great they're Sun Belt champions. Even worse, those aren't the types of athletes that are hopping into the portal because like a Power 5 school is coming to get them, right?
Not necessarily. I think you're mistaken. Like I was very shocked because I don't want this to come off as anti-transfer portal. I am never that. Transfer. You have rights as a player. Go find it. And we just had a Heisman situation where 8 of the top 9 Heisman vote getters got their start either at a Group of 5 school or at an FCS. Okay. And like I get it, Travis Hunter was a 5-star and chose to go to Jackson State, but still started at Jackson State. And so I think that's representative of a system that's working, of players getting the reps in at a school, maybe those who were overlooked or didn't get the chances coming out of high school and then going and proving themselves. So you never know which player could be that next one that hits big at a power conference school.
The Marshall thing, aren't they leaving because Marshall just was like, yeah, fire the coach? Yeah. Like that's what this.
It's a mess.
This is. Marshall is.
But it can happen anywhere. Like Chris asked me last night.
While it can happen anywhere, I think this is an anomaly.
Yeah.
Type of situation. I don't think this will become the new norm. Marshall is such a weird situation right now where their coach, who won a championship, won a Sun Belt, is now jobless for a second before he decided, yo, I'm going to Southern Miss. Mm-hmm. You guys don't want me. I'm going there. And I'm bringing a bunch of players with me. Like, that's what happened to Marshall. I can't envision that happening a whole lot of other places.
Washington State has 20 players in the transfer portal right now. Chris asked me last night, is Washington State going to be able to play in their bowl game? And I said, I sure hope so because they're playing your team. And he said, really? I was like, yes, Washington State and Syracuse are playing. And Syracuse, their coach, Fran Brown, has said, like, we don't have players who opt out. We're all playing. So it could be a real bloodbath in that one if they do end up playing. John Crazy Legs Mateer, one of my favorite quarterbacks in college football, entered the transfer portal for Washington State yesterday. I just think this is so easily solved if you can move the transfer portal date to if you want to keep bowl games, move the transfer portal date. It shouldn't be that complicated. Or we will move to a space where bowl games phase out and all the focus is on a 12-team college football playoff and beyond. But like you said, I would miss the fun of a team going foaling in Frisco, Texas. And I know I'm a product of someone who grew up really ingrained in bowls. Like I remember being on a Disneyland family vacation and we skipped a day at Disneyland because there were bowl games on that my parents wanted to watch. That's weird. I recognize that. Not a lot of kids were forced to miss a day of Mickey Mouse to sit and watch insert random bowl game here because that was part of their family's culture. But having had the chance to go to so many different bowl games, like I still say the greatest moment of my career so far was covering that Tigers team in the Cotton Bowl. Like you work so hard, but the energy is so incredible, and they're going and doing special things and taking tours of AT&T Stadium and getting to go in the locker rooms and doing stuff around Dallas and the surrounding area. And I don't know, like I think there's value in that. I really do. So for today, I'm excited to watch Memphis play West Virginia in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Move the transfer portal opening.
Is that easy?
Do that.
Like, it sounds so easy. Why?
Do that. You can do 2 things. You move the transfer portal opening, and then you get NIL contracts where you have to play in the bowl game to get or to keep the money that you make. Right? Like you have to play unless you're terribly injured, and the doctor says you're terribly injured or something like that. I don't know. Figure that part out. But yeah, bowl games are fun. An additional game of college football for me is always fun.
Time is fleeting.
Like this is it. This is it. I don't want college football to end when the conference championships end. You know, I don't want that. And we get good matchups and get a handful of good matchups. Forget the playoffs and the New Year's Six and the BCS Bowls. Forget those. But just in the other bowl games, we do get really good, intriguing matchups, and fun things are happening. What was it, 2 years ago? AutoZone Liberty Bowl, the government name of the Liberty Bowl. Was that Kansas? Who did Kansas play? and they were
Yes.
just balling out of control. Was it Kansas, Arkansas? It wasn't
That's what-
Kansas, Arkansas.
That's where my brain just went, but I could not have been.
But like you
yeah,
get
it was Kansas, Arkansas. It was 55-53.
Like you get those moments where
triple overtime.
two teams show up and it's like, hey, let's go.
And that fan constantly leaned into the camera shot.
We have
Those are the
nothing.
things
I forgot
remember.
about that. We have nothing to play for but the love of the game. Let's go out there and leave it all out there. And you get those moments from time to time in these bowls.
Yeah.
And like those are fun things. I remember what do we call them, the Vegas Bowl? Is it just the Vegas Bowl? Whatever the hell the Vegas Bowl is called. I don't even know if it's what it was called when I saw this. What was it?
It's just the Las Vegas Bowl.
7 or 8 years ago?
Oh.
When the wind was just blowing
Yes.
and you were punting the ball into the wind and would blow it back at you? Like, that was an incredible moment of football.
Okay, but even on top of that, the Vegas Bowl, USC's in the Vegas Bowl this year playing Texas A&M, but when I was in school, USC was going to the Vegas Bowl, and you want to know what they sent? Real Vegas showgirls to USC football practice. Which I don't know if that still flies today, but it was kind of cool. They had the whole
we
feather
can show
thing.
showgirls.
They were in
Showgirls
like
can show
little
up.
glitzy outfits.
They're clothes.
Yeah,
The important stuff is clothes.
exactly. It was like.
Did you ever see the movie Showgirls?
Of course, I saw the movie
just making
Showgirls.
sure.
When we
I
did
didn't
the
know if
whole
you were too
point of our
young.
summer movie series was that we were going to watch Showgirls, and then it
Oh, I
never
forgot
ended up in a
about that.
category. I watched Showgirls way too much because it was always on VH1.
VH1 with
always on
with
VH1
with the whatchamacallit, the CGI bras and
Yeah,
whatnot.
exactly.
Yeah.
Those were the times, man. Like, and I know it's the most annoying thing I talk about, but going to the Hawaii Bowl, one of the worst things that I ever saw happen at a bowl, because at the Hawaii Bowl they go to a luau, as you would expect to in Hawaii. One year, one of the teams, God, I can't remember which team it was, but they got severely reprimanded. They tried to stuff dollar bills in the hula dancers. Yes. And they were like throwing money. They were like literally onto the stage. It was so bad. And I was like 13.
Wait, were the coaches not around?
Yeah, they were. They stopped it quickly.
Oh, okay.
It was bad.
Oh,
Don't
so-
do that.
So they saw it and was like, hey, cut that out.
And then a couple
got-
players got suspended.
Oh, yeah.
Things get you can get fights in bowl games.
You get
They're going to be a
people-
hell of a lot more interesting than watching the Vikings-Bears game last night or the Falcons-Raiders game last night. Because you did miss last Friday's show, you did miss my fantasy football horror show where I started Brock Purdy and Juwan Jennings in one league and I started Cooper Kupp in another. And I would like to give the update to the people. The one with Brock Purdy and Jennings, I won.
Let's go.
I came back and won. The one with Cooper Kupp, I lost by 0.5 points last night. 0.5.
Out of the playoffs?
That one, yeah. I was the best team. That was the Grizzlies, not your stupid league, but the big Grizzlies league. It was me and a bunch of ticket sales guys left. Final four. I lost by 0.5 because I had Brian Thomas with 35 points off the bench.
If Patrick Mahomes does not play,
Yes.
my semifinals, I got to buy. So my semifinals start this week. If Patrick Mahomes doesn't play, do I go? Jameis Winston is available
That's
on the waiver
unfortunate.
wires.
He had -1 point last week.
So is Kirk Cousins.
That's also unfortunate. He can't move.
Or do I go out there and pick up Carson Wentz? Mahomes' backup.
I know.
Right, like that's the best I can do. Will Levis is floating around out there in that league on waivers. Like there aren't good quarterbacks on waivers in that league.
That's tough. I don't think you should pick up Michael Penix Jr. because even though he had his helmet on the entire game last night, just standing there on the sidelines waiting for his moment to go in, it does not sound like they are going to make a move. Look at this man. This man is born ready. He's like, the last time I played a meaningful game, it was the national championship game. It did not go well. Put me in. And as a Drake London fantasy football owner, put Michael Penix in. Although Kirk Cousins did throw a nice touchdown, but he was wide open.
Kirk Cousins had us all fool
He
5
can't
weeks into the
move.
season.
He can't move.
Does that mean he can't throw either?
Jameis Winston taught you that every bone is connected to the other bones. Come on. All right, we'll maybe talk a little bit more about the Monday Night Football games later in the show, but we have to take a quick break because Mike Wallace will join us on the other side. The Memphis Grizzlies have won 10 of their last 12 games. They did lose their last one to the Lakers. We'll get Mike's take on that loss, looking ahead to their game against the Warriors this week, and we'll get his take on the NBA Cup, the championship game tonight between the Thunder and the Bucks. Will we be watching? We'll discuss when we come back.
More disappointing quarterback this year. Cousins, Rodgers.
I can't wait to see what your number one. If that's your number two.
Number one for me.
Come on, man.
I listen to the Bells of Luther Vandross. I love Luther Vandross's Christmas album.
I gotta go back and listen to that one, man. I'm sure I've heard it.
To the Bells and they made me remember. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Grizzlies are just having fun out there tonight. Morant around a screen, bumped by Wagner. No look to Smart, lays it up on the window and in, and it is all Grizz. The Grizzlies have the fans on their feet at FedEx Forum.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Somebody who really has done what they were supposed to do, or maybe wasn't expected to do, is Jalen Wells, the Western Conference Rookie of the Month.
What you're seeing right now is him showing that, hey, no matter where I was going to go in the draft, I was going to be ready.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back. It is Tuesday. That means it's time to catch up with Grind City Media Senior Editor Mike Wallace. Mike, how are you this morning?
Oh, I'm good. As long as the rain is not falling right this moment, you know what I mean? I'm good with that situation. But it seems like we've been raining forever. So, you know, I'm just looking for the weather to break one way or another and find some sunshine again.
The thunderstorms were crazy last night. We had so much lightning and so much thunder over the river. And yesterday afternoon, when I went out to walk some dogs, I noticed it was unusually warm, and I went and I looked at my temperature on my phone, and it was 68 degrees outside in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, that was lovely, man. So when I walked Kelly to the bus stop yesterday, we went outside and we were like, wow, this feels like something's wrong, because the week before it was like frigid, right? So I was like, immediately, let's drop her off, and then as soon as she's gone, I'm gonna go do a run outside and get some fitness in. But And then as soon as I came back in, it started pouring down and it didn't stop, man. So, yeah, we got to take advantage of it. This weather has to kind of get aligned, right?
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, the temperature was high enough where this precipitation didn't cause snow this week, right? But we got the precipitation. Last week, we got the frigid cold and didn't get any rain. So hopefully, man, we can get out of this and find some kind of. I know it's December. It's supposed to be bad weather, but I kind of want some warmth and sunshine.
I mean, you're a Florida guy. You're a Glamour City guy. You're always looking for the warmth and the sunshine. The Grizzlies went someplace with warmth and sunshine, Los Angeles, over the weekend. And while they are winners of 10 of their last 12 games, and they were 5th in the latest NBA power rankings, they did suffer a loss to the Lakers. I'm curious, Mike, your reaction to that loss. Was it catastrophic? Was it just a loss in an 82-game season, or something in between?
No, I think it wasn't catastrophic, and I don't want to dismiss it as just a loss in an 82-game season. You have to find a way to beat the Lakers. You just do, with Anthony Davis, right? All of the times that you beat the Lakers or you play the Lakers, it seems like they're missing somebody or you're missing somebody. This was as close to both teams being at full strength as you're going to probably get, and it wasn't even really close until the Lakers made a run. Till the Grizzlies made a run towards the end of the game, and I think Anthony Davis is a problem. That's not, a major development, but you have to be better in that situation. Jaren has to, be on his best when it comes to limiting fouls and not doing, out of contest type fouls. Like if he's fouling 50, 60, 70, 80 feet away from the basket, that's not going to help your team. So he's got to be more efficient in terms of how he defends. And then, in that kind of game, and I'll say this, I hold the Grizzlies to a standard of championship, because that's what they're saying coming into this season, that they wanted to win. And just as much as I gave them credit for their temperament coming out of that Dallas loss in Dallas and how it led to what they eventually did in Boston, I think that some of the things that came out of that Brooklyn win mentally and psychologically kind of contributed to how they approached that Lakers game. And I thought that they got out of who they were. I think they got into the silliness of the antics and the trash talking and some of the immaturity in some ways in that Brooklyn game at the end. And when you need to go to your next game and play a professional team like the Lakers on the road, I didn't see that same type of quality. And I thought it contributed to that. So, this is a team that's still learning. They definitely are still learning. But, again, this isn't, as Jaren said, this isn't the season for growing pains. This is a season for production.
Is this a bad matchup, or is it something more than that with the Grizzlies, Mike? And if it is a bad matchup, when we look down the line towards the end of the season, should there be some jockeying going on for the Grizzlies to try and avoid having to play the Lakers in a playoff matchup?
No, I don't think you got to jockey to try to avoid them. I just think you got to secure a top 4 seed so you can get one more game at home than they have. So at the very least, you have that behind you. And
but didn't they have home court when they lost to them 2 years ago?
They were 2 and the Lakers were 7 and they lost it, right? But I think, again, going back to the immaturity and the need to grow psychologically, I think that team was a little bit different. This team has all the pieces in place to get it done. I think they have the battle scars to be able to make those kind of in-game adjustments. We just didn't see any that took effect in that Lakers game. So, yes, it is a bad matchup. It's not an ideal matchup. And CJ, you and I have talked about this, and I've said this time and time again. When I look at the Western Conference standings, nothing above the Grizzlies scares me one bit. Like, we could talk all day about Oklahoma City and how they're playing. That matchup does not frighten me if I'm the Grizzlies. Like, I look forward to seeing Oklahoma City. I look forward to getting Houston, because I don't know if Houston is ready. Like, you're 2 or 3 years ahead of Houston's development in terms of playoff battle and battle tested. But the teams behind you, like Denver scares me. The Lakers scare me. You know what I mean? Those are Dallas kind of scares me.
The Warriors?
The Warriors, I think that if the Grizzlies got home court advantage, I think they can beat the Warriors, because I think that they will eventually outlast the Warriors if they're healthy. If the Grizzlies are healthy. But the other 2 teams, they're just so physical inside. They're so methodical with how they do things, and they control the pace. Luka controls pace. Jokic controls pace. Anthony Davis and LeBron James big boy you, and they control the pace. The other teams I mentioned above you, they want to run. Minnesota wants to run with them. Right. Oklahoma City's going to want to run. Houston's going to want to run, and I think that's exactly what the Grizzlies want. So those are the 3 teams that I would be kind of skittish about. The other ones, I think you take your chances.
Say those 3 teams again, Mike.
Dallas, Denver, and the Lakers. Those are the three right there.
Big dudes out there running the offense for those teams.
Right.
Yep. Anybody else in the West, I think the Grizzlies can not easily, but I think that they're fine with. But having said all that, they still have to be able to bring that same kind of intensity and maturity and discipline. And I thought the discipline kind of got sideways towards the end of Brooklyn, and it carried over into not having anything, emotionally by the time you got to LA.
It is a chance to face another opponent that can bring out the emotions of this team with the Golden State Warriors coming on Thursday. So you talk about a chance to prove that you can turn the page from the Lakers. The Warriors now, with the addition of Dennis Schroeder, become an even spicier rival of sorts for the Grizzlies, especially given that Dennis Schroeder's final moments as a Brooklyn Net were fighting with Taylor Jenkins, and now he joins a team that has notoriously done a lot of back and forth chatting between the Grizzlies and the Warriors. What would you like to see as it pertains to the Grizzlies coming back on the home court, Warriors coming on the floor? What does this game mean in terms of this next stretch as the Grizzlies still, and contextually, they've won 10 of their last 12 games, so there's no reason to doom and gloom this. However, it is important to figure out a way to get back to the winning side.
It is, especially against these teams at this time, right? These teams are coming more frequently in your schedule now than earlier, right? You're getting the Lakers, and then right after the Lakers, you're getting the Warriors, and then right before the Lakers, you got, the week before you got Boston. So you're starting to see some of these more elite teams come pretty regularly on the schedule right now. And I think it means something to be able to do it at home. The Grizzlies still have one of the best records at home in the NBA. And to be able to face the Warriors, they're going to bring the emotion. Draymond Green is going to do his antics. All of these things. Like, you've seen this team enough to know what you need to do to beat them, right? Especially at home. And yes, they're going to be a great team. They're going to make their runs. They got some shooters. All of those things are true. But you're bigger, you're more physical, and you tend to play better offensively. You have a bench that can match their bench. The statistics show that. You have a passing offense that can match their passing offense. The statistics show that. You can beat this team at home. And I think that's something that you have to say, okay, let's get this team, because they're going to be ones that are coming for us as well, too. So at a certain point, you have to, show the Warriors that you're the bigger team than they are. Like, you're the better team than they are. And right now, the Warriors still feel like they can look eye to eye with the Grizzlies and favor that matchup. But I don't think when you look at these rosters up and down, I don't think it should be any question that the Grizzlies are the better team, and they just have to go out there and execute and prove it.
When you mentioned the bench, role players always play better at home, but coming off of the game here against the Nets, and yes, it's the Nets versus going to Los Angeles in a place that has been notoriously difficult for the Grizzlies to play. I think they're 2-12 at this point since 2019 when traveling to play the Lakers in LA between the postseason and the regular season. Is it just as simple as role players play better at home, in your opinion, Mike, or where does that take place? Because then again, you also had a situation, and I get it, it's the Wizards, where the Grizzlies bench had 76 points in that game. So.
Yeah, I think you said it right there. You caught yourself. It's the Wizards, right? Right. So
I feel like I have to make that caveat every time we talk about something that happened in the game against the Wizards.
I think me, CJ, and you could come off the bench in that game against the Wizards, and we would have been productive, right?
Hey, I just got knee braces so I can get back out there and hoop again, because my joints was a little achy. So I can get out there. I can give you 15.
I'm going to stay ready. When Jordan Poole breaks someone ankles and points, I'm ready. I'm finishing the high. Yeah, no, we're all pointing.
We're all pointing.
I can point. I can't make a shot. But
he's gonna throw us the ball. We're going to swat it away. Like, no, Jordan, we want to point too.
Absolutely. But no, I do think there's something. I mean, that's the age-old, cliche that your bench plays better at home. But this is a more mature bench right now. This is a Luke Kennard bench who has 1 year left on his contract. This is a Marcus Smart bench who had been playing well coming off the bench once he adjusted to that role. This is a Santi Aldama bench who's playing, for a contract next season. You know what I mean? This is, depending on what you're going to do with Zach Edey, this is a Brandon Clark bench. A guy that's been in the league now for 6 years. So, this isn't just your typical, hey, let's ride the wave of emotions of young players trying to get in and do something. These are veterans who have served as starters as well at certain points. So the Grizzlies have a varsity bench. It's not like a JV bench where guys are coming in lucky to get on the floor. These guys have been starters before. And so they have to be able to be consistent. If that's going to be a strength, it has to be a strength both on the road and at home. And that's some of the things you work through the second quarter of this season, of this first half of the season. And I think that's going to be a quest for consistency.
It is trade season, Mike, and people get wild out there. That's just the nature of this time of year. The latest as it pertains to the Grizzlies was a report yesterday from Evan Sidrey over at Forbes, who said that the Grizzlies are among a handful of contending teams showing interest in Dorian Finney-Smith. Is that a player that moves the needle for you? Is there anyone out there or anything that you've heard that thus far makes sense for the Grizzlies? I feel like we have to do this update every week because that is what the people always want to talk about this time of year.
No, that's fine. That's what drives the NBA, like transactions. It's a transactional league.
Oh,
right?
wait.
Yeah.
Are we alleging something right now? Is that what we're doing?
Is it that time of year?
Is that what's happening?
Is that sweet music?
This is being reported, y'all.
Oh.
It's
it is. Allegedly.
Not saying it's true.
Sing it to me,
Not saying it's false.
No.
It's reported, y'all.
It's just a report.
Allegedly. Reportedly. It's alleged. Oh, your voice is back.
It's kind of back. I can't belt, but I can get back up there again.
All right.
We're so close.
We don't want no fines. Come
No
on.
fines, no
Adam
fines.
Silver. We not trying to tamper. Allegedly. All right, get back to the conversation.
Yeah, Mike. Thank you. Sorry, we just had to make
sure so
it
we don't get in
crystal
trouble.
clear.
We don't want the Grizzlies to get fined for tampering because of something that we did.
Transaction season might drive the NBA, but we don't drive transaction season over here. No. We sure don't.
Man, oh man, CJ, hey, listen, man, look. That is that good? Well, I guess that can't make the Christmas pick six list, right? Because it's not a Christmas song.
It's not a Christmas song.
But it happens during the holiday season, though.
But it also happens in the summer.
True.
Yeah, that's what this song was. That's what this song was
free
written for.
agency
Was for
season.
the start of free agency.
Yeah.
Like that's what this song was written for.
Yeah, but this is going to be one of those high stakes transaction seasons because there's so many teams that are tight with what they can do because of the apron rules, and they still need to make moves. So they're going to be a little more desperate to figure out what they can do on the edges. And then you have some other stars in big cities or sort of traditional markets that aren't happy and they need to move out of the way. But listen, Dorian Finney-Smith is one of those players. Everybody on the Nets is available. I do believe that trade. We just saw Dennis Schroeder get moved to the Warriors for basically nothing, for second round.
Anthony Melton, who can't play in second round picks.
Right, the second round picks. So those kind of moves are going to be made. Here's the thing, though. If you're the Grizzlies, can you make a move like that without necessarily disrupting your core and your prioritized bench players? And if you can do that, you go ahead and do it. But here's the other thing, too. Eventually, whoever you're going to bring in has to cost you something. And it just is a matter of what the Grizzlies are willing to give up right now. In terms of the players who are active and available, I don't know how much of that you want to disrupt. I do think you have some overlap in some areas, but we still haven't seen what this team is going to look like potentially when they get Gigi and Vince back too. So I'm almost, I would, and this is just me, and this is with all the background music still going, allegedly, reportedly, supposedly, and all other kind of qualifiers. I want to see what this team is, in January and when these guys get back, and then you make a decision going into February, the deadline. Make it as late as you can so you can see what you have and then go from there.
Happy birthday, Gigi Jackson. 20
Wow.
years old. He is a baby.
Yeah, 20 years old. I thought 21, but yeah, he was, yeah.
He was 19 last year. He's 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was, it's been a year for him, man. And, you just hope that he continues to trend towards, making that return in the coming month plus, and he can get back to some of the energy that he provided. I know he's ready. I know this is so tough for him, but he's still such a player with so much upside that you want to see what it looks like alongside some of these guys with that depth.
Hey, something we didn't touch on when we were talking about that Lakers game was the return of Zach Edey. As, injuries have been less, knock on wood, fingers crossed, sage the building, all that jazz. I feel like we have to say that every time. But getting these last few off the injury report, like Gigi, like Vince Williams Jr., and then getting Zach Edey back on Sunday against the Lakers, moments of his physicality standing out as something that worked against Anthony Davis. He was a plus 12 off the bench, had a double-double. In terms of the plan moving forward for him, Mike, do you think that he continues to come off the bench? Given how successful Jaren and Brandon Clark have been as the starting front court for this team during the stretch, does it become matchup dependent? Where do you see that going in the next few weeks here?
Taylor would tell you it will be matchup dependent, and it's just sort of how you want to play and what pace you want to get to. And I do think Brandon gives them a chance to start a game at the pace that they want. It just didn't work against the Lakers, right? Mm-hmm. However, having said that, I do believe you're going to get consistency from Zach Edey mentally and performance-wise, whether he comes off the bench or whether he starts. I think Brandon Clark almost has to start at this point in terms of him psychologically, because I think that gets him in the game. He feels like he belongs on the court with Jaren Jackson. It's not to say that Brandon won't play well if he has to come off the bench. I just think sometimes you got to read a guy's mentality and read a guy what you need for a guy and what you need out of him. And I think starting speaks to Brandon Clark at this stage a little bit more than coming off the bench did. He said that in some pieces. He said that, how it's flipped, because at one point in his career, he didn't want to start. He wanted to come off the bench his first 3 years. But I think
it was
now,
the Boost brothers.
Yeah, it was the Boost.
Him and Mel coming off the bench.
Brandon Clark. So what Taylor showed me in that game against the Lakers is that, okay, if it's not going right, we're going to make some adjustments. And he put Marcus Smart in the starting lineup the second half, and he put Zach Edey in the starting lineup for the second half. It just didn't work. They couldn't cut into that deficit until Anthony Davis got hurt. So that was just, as CJ said, there is something to be said about the Lakers just being a horrible matchup, because they can dictate. Anthony Davis was bringing the ball up, 40% of the time that the Lakers had possession. LeBron James bringing the ball up. What do both of those guys do? Walk it up. That means you get into your up and down. That means they're going to have fouls called for them because they go to the free throw line quite a bit, and that slows you down. And that team is a master at doing that. So that's why that will be a difficult matchup, but the Grizzlies have to figure that one out.
NBA Cup final tonight, Mike. Who you got, Bucks or Thunder?
I was just reading up a whole bunch of stuff on how the Bucks have turned their season around. They were 2-8 to start the season. They were 13-2 or something like that over the last 15. They're defending better. They're sharing the ball better. Giannis is saying that we're not selfish anymore the way we were before. It seemed like everything he was saying was code words for Damian Lillard and the way Damian Lillard played. But they are able to hold each other accountable. Doc Rivers does allow for that kind of communication. But, man, I'm rooting for Milwaukee, because I like that team better. Oklahoma, it's not that I dislike Oklahoma City. They're phenomenal.
No, I think you have to hate the Thunder if you live in Memphis. That's what I've learned over the last week and a half.
I guess so, and I'm looking so forward to seeing.
Ask John Roser. He made the vast mistake of giving some support for the Thunder, and they call him Johnny Thunder now, Mike. So don't get caught on the wrong side. We are Team Bucks in the NBA Cup tonight.
You can't do that. You got it. So yeah, I want to see Milwaukee win, but you got to respect what Oklahoma City is doing and the way they're defending. Hardenstein and what those guys are doing defensively with Dort and some of these other guys, man, they just are interchangeable and they're just so good at what they do. So I'm going Milwaukee. You asked me who I think is going to win. I think Oklahoma City is going to win, but I'm going for Milwaukee.
It's the only game tonight. Obviously, it's the Cup. After year 2 of the Cup, previously known in a past life as the in-season tournament, are you a fan? Do you think this has enough juice in it to continue growing from year to year?
I do. I really do. And I thought last year needed to have a glamour team and a glamour player, and they had LeBron James in it. I think this year they have the passion of the teams that need to be there. Milwaukee wants to be there because they want to continue to turn their season around. And you could say that they went 6-0, they undefeated in the Cup run this year, and that team needs to have something to say, hey, we're a contender again. Oklahoma City is one of your best 2 teams in the league right now, the way they've been playing. They're not as much. Neither one of these teams have the glamour that the Lakers had last year, but they do have the consistency, and they do have they're just 2 quality teams at this point in the season that are doing some good things. So I do think this is something they can build off of. I don't like all the courts, but I love most of the courts.
Oh, we fixed the court problem, Mike. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No. I guarantee you, if you don't like these courts, you'll hate our courts because we're going to take the courts that have the bright colors, but we're adding themes to them. For example, the Houston court, bright red, flames everywhere. Live flames, not drawn-on flames, like cauldrons of fire
all along
in
the
every
sideline,
four corners.
Mike, up and down the sideline, just
Constant.
torches, tiki torches.
It's going to be the hottest arena to ever exist. One of the blue courts, like Milwaukee's blue court, which, why is it blue? When they were playing the Magic, I'm like, this is the Magic's court. But no, it's Milwaukee's court. I hate everything about this. Whatever. It's ice themed. It's frozen themed. We're going to have icicles dangling from the nets. So then it gets even more complicated. We're going to put gimmicks. Because if you can't get people to just watch a basketball game, by God, do you have to add some gimmicks to it to make the people care. If there could be like a rainbow court, we could get confetti machines.
You can't do a rainbow court. You're too woke. Stop
I'm
it.
so sorry.
Yeah, stop
I'm
it.
so sorry. I forgot.
Stop it.
I'm living in the past.
Stop it.
My bad. Okay.
Although rainbows and unicorns would be fun on the court.
With confetti. And they just have to play in the confetti. Like, imagine.
Confetti would, like.
Imagine, game on the line. Before you release, the confetti gun goes off. So you have to make the shot through the confetti.
Through confetti. Hey, you might. Hey, look, listen. Adam Silver in the league is taking all ideas when it comes to the Cup and the All-Star Weekend. So, hey, throw them in the hat and see what happens from that standpoint. But I do like it. I think this is something that the league gambled on, and I think it paid off. And they're going to continue to invest a lot in this. And I think it's a good thing in the middle of the season.
Mike, thanks for joining us. We'll see you Thursday. You're on the radio broadcast Thursday.
Yes, I am. Definitely am, man.
There.
Good time game.
All right, that was Mike Wallace, senior editor at Grind City Media. You can find his latest always at grindcitymedia.com. We have to take a break. When we come back, Will Coleman, former Memphis Tiger, he joins us on Tuesdays, and we're going to talk about the Memphis Tigers' big bounce-back win against Clemson. They are back in both the AP and coaches polls, and Penny Hardaway has a simple request for fans of the Tigers. We'll discuss it with Will when we come back.
Can we stick bubbles on the court? Would that be too dangerous?
Yes.
The blue court has bubbles also.
Can we have bubbles?
We got flames and confetti.
If the fire has a
Get the squad together for this year's Junior Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament. Presented by 2K at the Built Ford Tough practice facility inside FedEx Forum. On Saturday, January 4th, teams will compete in 3 games before advancing to single elimination play. Overall winners from the 10 and under, 12 and under, and 14 and under divisions will win Grizzlies tickets, including exclusive access to the pregame team shoot-around before the Grizz take on the Pelicans January 24th. Sign up today at hoopitup.com/Grizzlies.
Grizzlies are just having fun out there tonight. Morant around a screen, bumped by Wagner. No look to Smart, lays it up on the window and in, and it is all Grizz. The Grizzlies have the fans on their feet at FedEx Forum.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Look at that. We got the whole Grizzlies team just infiltrated our studio. Santi Aldama's in the house. Look at everybody. The whole Grizzlies team. Look at Zach Edey's in the house. John Morant's in the house. Say hello. Say hello.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
How about them
How
Tigers?
about
Go
the Tigers?
Go.
Beat Tulane in a game that nobody called. Nobody thought was going to happen. They were a 2-touchdown underdog, and they got the win.
Number 25 in the AP right now, number 24 in the coaches poll right now. So this is a Tigers football team that's going to end the regular season ranked in both major polls, possibly ranked in the CFP as well, with 10 wins. That's a damn good season.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
ESPN put out a list. Top 30 best pro wrestlers under 30 in the world today. Number 1, Dirty Dom. Number 2, MJF.
I think Dom is deserving to be number 1. I think he is probably, like I said, one of the greatest heels in the last 10, 15 years. Like you said, you can't talk on a microphone.
The fans love it because they feel like they're a part of the show.
And that's the best.
Without their booze, he's not the best heel.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
It is Tuesday. That means it's time to catch up with Will Coleman. Hey, Will.
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm a little permission to speak freely for like 2 minutes.
Speak as free as you want.
I want to issue an apology to a special friend of mine.
Okay.
You know, because sometimes they say men have a hard trouble taking accountability. I put my sweet friend April in a tough spot last night at a basketball game. You know, I dropped the ball on my end with some basketball, some teams was some things happened, and I kind of put her in some hot water. So I just want to say I'm sorry to my sweet, sweet friend April, who is near and dear to my heart. She's a local AD at a school, and you know I kind of put her in a spot. So I had some things I had to put some fires out this morning. So I just wanted to apologize to my friend.
Now you have to explain what happened.
So, you know, I'm an athletic director.
Sure.
And I rescheduled something.
Well, I'm so glad you were ready to talk about this.
I forgot to, and this don't look good because, you know, I'm having fun in this field and this is something I want to grow in.
Yeah.
But I forgot to inform someone and someone didn't show up somewhere, and I put my sweet friend April in a tough spot, and you know, I hope I don't want her to be angry
so wait,
at me.
did people show up for a game that
They
couldn't
didn't.
happen? Oh, people didn't show up
They
for
didn't.
a game.
That was a game that was supposed to happen.
So one team was there and there was no team for them to play.
Yeah. But I take full accountability for it.
Your sweet friend April must be pissed.
Yeah, she bad at me. She big mad. She big mad.
Okay.
I'm hoping we can overcome this. So I'm
rooting for you.
I also have one last question for you. I saw your entertaining Instagram reel post.
Thank you.
So I do have a question because I know you personally.
Yeah.
And CJ, chime in too. Made it week 2 of my playoffs. Okay, fantasy.
Yeah.
Chime in too if you want to. Made it week 2 of my playoffs. Do I pick Colts defense to play Tennessee at home?
Yep.
Yes.
Or do I pick Cardinals defense on the road to play the Panthers?
Colts defense to play Tennessee at home.
Wait, are you trying to pick them up on waiver?
Yeah.
Make the waiver
both.
claim for both, but I think you prioritize the Colts.
However,
okay.
So my husband picked up the Colts defense to play next week, and he was devastated when they benched Will Levis for Mason Rudolph down the stretch in that last game. It does change it a little bit. You want Will Levis to be quarterbacking the Titans because it provides significant opportunity for big defensive moments that can make or break.
And also with the Colts defense, though, they go Titans at Giants. So you can have the Colts for this week and for next week in the championship game.
Yeah.
So like that's something else to think about when you think about picking up these defenses and players for that matter.
Okay.
The
Cool. I picked up the Colts, and I picked up Goff because I got Mahomes and Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes is questionable. Purdy been playing like doo-doo.
The Niners as a whole, yes.
So I'd rather have, and Goff play San Fran this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather if Patty can't go this week, I'd rather have Goff.
I like your odds.
All
Good
right,
work.
okay, cool. Now, my Tigers.
Thanks for consulting a woman on football business. I appreciate you.
Because y'all, if y'all don't, y'all clearly don't know who she is, but it says I know who she is.
That's the
put some respect on her name, man. Put some respect on her name. Respect on her name.
R-E-S-P-E-C-K-T, respect it.
That's what I'm talking
Find
about.
out what it means to me.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hell
man.
yeah to your Memphis Tigers. What a bounce
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
Will.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, y'all, hey, man, y'all was so ready to just trash my dog Penny, man. First off, let me tell you something. Yeah, we lost to Arkansas State, okay? But they came back. First off, them boys can shoot the ball. And they just came back and smacked UAB down 30 in overtime, and y'all still want to call them a bad basketball team? First off, it ain't no bad basketball team in Division I collegiate sports.
Bellarmine wants to have a word with you. And I don't even know what their record is. I feel like David Lipscomb would also like to have a word
Nah,
with
man,
you.
if you talented enough to play Division I
Long
basketball.
Beach and Michigan would like to have a word.
Mississippi Valley State 2-8 swag.
You Division I, you're a talented,
Valley.
you're a talented athlete. If you get a Division I scholarship, you're a talented athlete. Now, with that being said, we just happen to have more talented athletes when we went to play Clemson. And every time when I watch that game, I don't know why, but Shefflin, I don't know why, but every time I saw him, I just was ready to fight. He just, he was the epitome of don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Because he did not look like a Division I basketball player at all. But he also had I think he had like a season high.
It's 17.
17
6
on
of
us.
13 shooting.
And it's like, how? But we weathered the storm. We went down there, we did our thing, and we got the W, and we bounced back from that abysmal loss that the NCAA will not forget about.
I apologize to Long Beach State. They're on a 3-game win streak. Now,
See?
Yeah, how dare you.
They are 4-8 though.
That's
They're
all right.
4-8. But
3-game winning streak.
They're on a 3-game win streak.
I mean,
they're getting hot at the right time.
They're still 294 in Ken Palm. You can use
Jessica,
them as an example.
They're getting hot at the right time is all I'm saying.
That's all you got to.
Okay.
After January, if you rolling after January, you good.
Why don't you take Utah Tech at 297 below them?
No,
Throw Utah Tech under the
Utah
bus.
Tech's not. Throw them
How about
under the bus.
Oral Roberts, my favorite at
Shout out to
303?
Oral. I picked Oral.
You know what? This dude,
they were
bro.
plus 27.
This
They
I
were
know
plus
they're your
27
favorite
yesterday.
team. Between Austin P and Oral Roberts,
Shout
those
out
might be your
P.
two favorite.
Oh, gosh.
Show us your P.
Show us your
Penis. Show us your penis.
I can't say it.
Why you can't say? It's P-E-A-Y-N-E-S.
I know.
Penis.
It's an
It's
adjective.
an adjective, verb,
Yes.
adjective. We made the
Maybe
noun
if you
an
draw out the
adjective.
P, show me your P-E-ness.
That's what I did. Okay, great. I can't believe we came back to this somehow, some way.
You did it.
I know, and I apologize. I walked straight into it. As it pertains to Memphis coming back, getting the win in overtime,
Right.
what stood out to you the most as the reason they were able to find success on the road here?
Man, just the adversity, man.
Yeah.
We went down there, and I'm talking about for once, again, I don't think we have to have this conversation this year, me and CJ, but for once, it was nice to go blow for blow with another squad who could shoot the ball. With Trey Ball for a good 2 or 3 minutes. And it was amazing to see. Amazing to see. But to go in a crowd like that, to get up for a game, first off, playing an 11 o'clock game is awful. Because you got to get up and eat 6, 7 o'clock. Make sure your food digests. Got to get to the gym, get your shots up. You got to do everything you do at such an early time. It can throw your whole routine off. But to get together and get up and to be able to go into a game like that, it didn't look very hostile. Like, again, it was early. The arena didn't look too crazy. But still, to get up and play
Didn't they
on
have
the
to
road.
move elementary school kids to behind the basket
Yeah.
to make noise?
Yeah. So it was a neutral site game. But
Well, luckily, from a quad perspective, it was not a neutral site game.
Nah,
it
we
was
needed
at
that one.
the Little John Coliseum,
Yeah.
and I saw someone on Twitter turn it into
Little Penny.
Penny Coliseum.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens. The Clemson coach was so complimentary of Memphis' shot making, which is something that we've talked about throughout the season. And between Colby Rogers, Tyrese Hunter, Haggerty, like they've been consistent now. What gives you the confidence that this is something sustainable? And you know, shot making and elite guard play are the kind of things that teams really rest on. And I know we're a long way from March, but those are huge positives for a team that has NCAA tournament goals.
yeah, I say this, man. I say this. I think it's amazing, and I think we have 3 people that, not just one, Because usually everybody was just usually in the past, everybody's depending on one person. You had Kendrick Davis one year. We need him to make shots. We had Quinterly, we need to make shots. We had David Jones. We need to make shots. Well, now we got a handful of guys to where it's like if one does have an off game, it's going to happen. It's just basketball. That's how the game go. But if you have one guy down, we got, 2 or 3 other people that can step in and really help carry the load when one guy's having a bad night. And so I think we can find confidence and find comfort in that going into tournament play or conference play, excuse me.
Memphis released a video on social of Penny addressing the team after the win, and in it he basically went into the logic of going from being the hunted to the hunters. And when they lost to Arkansas State, they were the hunted, and then they get knocked out of the rankings, and then suddenly they put themselves in a position to be the hunters again. In your career, I'm curious, how does that mentality truly affect how a team goes into certain games and why some teams perform better as the hunted versus the hunters and how that can really impact this group?
If you're the hunted, I feel like if you're hunting, I think there's more of an aggression, I feel like. Whereas if you're the hunted, you're always on the defense. But I agree. I'm much more of having the mentality of hunting and knocking down those big trees, aka the ranked opponents. Just because I feel like people play with more of you play with a sense of urgency, you play with a little more aggression, and you play free. Just like I know we keep going back to it, that Arkansas State game, they came in, it's just like, man, if we beat this team, that's big. But if we lose to this team, it's a ranked team. We're really not supposed to play them anyway. But at the same time, you go in and you play that freely, you having fun, hunting, then it's a different ball game versus like, hey, man, we can't lose this game. We can't drop the ball here. It's a little more pressure.
That's the difference right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the pressure and we can't lose, not we're going to win. You've got to be a mean-spirited person to beat up on something smaller than you. But when you go from being the hunter to being the hunted, that's what you have to be.
Yeah.
You have to take joy and pleasure in sucking the life out of arenas and in beating dudes down, going back to that Arkansas State game, and beating them to a point to where they don't want to play you ever again.
Right.
You have to become a bully in that situation. We don't want bullies. Bullying is bad, whatever. But when you are that thing, and that's what the Tigers are in the American right now, they should be the bully of this conference.
Yeah.
You've got to step onto the court and be willing to look the East Carolinas, Temples, Florida, South Florida school, whoever it is, and say, hey, we're going to come out here and try and embarrass you. And that's what we're out here to do. And you've got to find joy and pleasure in embarrassing teams, not letting them play close with you, not winning contested games, not falling asleep in the first half and then coming back in the second half. No, we're on your ass from tip. You don't have any chance, any thought that you can win this game or keep up with us. That's the mentality. You have to be mean-spirited to be hunted.
Dorsey said that same thing. When he was here, and I would see him around town, and we would talk every now and then. Those Saturday morning games. Joey Dorsey.
Okay.
Them Saturday morning games, like the one we're gonna have this weekend. Mm-hmm. Those were the games where literally he said the team would just get together, have a good time, and literally just laugh about what they're about to do to their opponent. You got the fans, having a good time. It was a party, man. The forum was full. People throwing out drunk high fives in the middle of the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, missing hands and whatnot. Everybody falling over, just having a great time. And it's Lob City in the forum.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was crazy. And he was just like, man, we was the way they thought, that mentality from the punishments to Richard Hogan, what he would give those guys. They would get in trouble, and the strength and conditioning coach would make them run and do whatever, and they would just laugh about it and have a good time doing it. Mm-hmm. You got to be some kind of crazy to have fun while you getting punished with your teammates. And they would do the same thing in the forum. He said, man, we go out there and we knew couldn't nobody touch us, man. It was the mentality we had. People would come in here, as soon as they walked into the forum, they just, man, we finna lose, bro. Just don't get embarrassed today.
Yeah.
That's all the opponents would would say and when he would talk to people, and that's the same kind of mentality to his point. We got to go into the conference, and I mean, we got a weak conference. I mean, we just do. We should definitely, it should be, 07, 08, 09. We need to go undefeated in the conference, man.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Established within that, though, is turning FedEx Forum into true home court advantage, where a team does walk in and feel as if, oh, shit, I just came into the building where Memphis plays, and that's a scary place to be. They play on the road at Virginia tomorrow, and then, like you said, a early afternoon game on Saturday, 11:30 against Mississippi State. Then the following Saturday, they'll play Ole Miss. Penny Hardaway had his radio show yesterday, and he flat out asked the fans, like, we need you to be there. I know your answer to this question before I even ask it. Should Penny Hardaway have to be asking the fans at this point to come support the 21st ranked Memphis Tigers as they are about to host two SEC opponents here on the home court to close out non-con play?
No, not at all.
Of course.
The only thing he need to be saying to these folks, everybody, Saturday afternoon, blackout, funeral service. He need to get the whole team black Air Force Ones. They need to wear them to the forum. The whole forum, blackout. Clip it, blackout. University of Memphis, Penny, whoever, blackout. This Saturday, blackout, funeral service. We get the dub, blackout. Home, please come to the home. All black. Wait, if you got a pair of Forces, black Forces, go buy some. Wear them. I don't know, first 1,000 people get a black T-shirt. Something. Get them in there. Please, just come to the game. We first off, we shouldn't have to be bribing
Step
any
one,
of y'all.
come to the game. Step two, we're all black.
Yeah, just come on. Come on, man. All
Step one
black,
is getting
dog.
the fans there. Step two is getting them to commit to a theme.
Come
but
on,
I love
man.
a good theme.
Man,
I don't
come
understand
on,
why someone
dog.
wouldn't want a theme.
I love a good theme, baby. Come on, get them there. We got to get
And
there. Come on.
I hate the excuses that have already begun. Oh, there's NFL games and college football playoff games on Saturday.
Get there.
Yeah, you can do both.
Yeah, you can do all
These
of them.
have
Get both.
screens?
Yeah, man. Everybody got YouTube. Now, this is another conversation for another day. YouTube TV did just increase their prices, and I'm not happy about it. Y'all low down for that. Y'all trifling for that. And Amazon Prime they putting commercials on all their stuff, too. You got to pay $3 to get rid of commercials.
Speaking of
crazy,
commercials,
bro.
so you have that bone to pick. I have watching NFL Red Zone on Sunday, which always promises 7 hours of commercial-free football. That's their entire shtick. Like, when they're in a game that's going to a commercial, it goes to another game. And Scott Hansen will be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't do commercials here on NFL Red Zone. And last Sunday, those sneaky little losers, all of a sudden, I'm like, why are my ears hearing a Verizon ad right now?
Yeah.
Because they've double-boxed their Red Zone content with their own ads on Red Zone. 7 hours of commercial-free football means 7 hours of commercial-free football. I did not sign up to watch 7 hours of, here's a commercial that is exclusive to NFL Red Zone, but we'll get quickly back. No.
That's that money talking.
I watched a movie on Max the other night. Commercials.
See?
Every 30 minutes.
They-
And I get it. But I don't, because I
They
paid
low
for
down.
Max.
Yeah,
Why
they
do
low
I have
down for
commercials in
that.
a movie?
That's crazy, bro. How you gonna commercial a movie, bro?
It angers me.
That's crazy. And I need everybody to commercial their ass down to the forum this Saturday.
It's that simple.
And we're all black. I'm manifesting this thing. I'm manifesting
Do it.
All black this weekend.
CJ, you said $20 Terrace tickets?
Which game is Saturday? Is that the Mississippi
State?
Yeah. Well, it's down there, kicking it in the more lit portions of the dungeon, not the elephant graveyard, but the other parts of it. And we were looking at ticket prices, and it was about $20 for terrace level seats. And
That's
if you go on resale, the tickets are way more expensive. But you can go straight to Memphis Tigers athletic department and get tickets there, and those tickets are way more affordable. You can get them here at the box office also, I'm pretty sure, at a much more affordable price.
That's crazy,
You
man.
resellers are monsters.
Yeah, resellers are
It's like
bringing this country
$85
down.
minimum.
Up in terrace?
Yes.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
That's
Don't
disgusting.
buy off resale.
Don't buy off resale, y'all.
Go to the Memphis
Well.
Tigers athletic department and you can get it.
Don't buy off resale, y'all. Come to the forum. Pull up, get your ticket. Hit the internet. Don't resellers. Don't do that. They messing us up, man. Don't do that. Just come to the game. Buy your own ticket. Come to the game, man. Just buy your own ticket. Wear black. Come to the game. We need y'all. Memphis Nation, Tiger Nation. Pretty man, please, bro. I shouldn't even
heard
have to
the
be
man.
begging y'all this much. Please
Yeah,
just
man.
come. Please
You
just
started
come
this
to the
segment
game.
begging for an apology.
Man, I'm
You're
begging for
some
attention.
forgiveness, and now
Man.
you're begging for fans to come
Yeah,
out.
again, April, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, April. I love
April,
you
he's sorry.
and your amazing family. I come to the game. I'm sorry to my friend, and I'm picking the Colts defense for week 2 of the playoffs in fantasy because my friend, who is a female, who know football, who know what she talking about, who knows sports.
Okay, let's start with a friend who is a woman.
Who knows sport? I'm just saying, it really don't matter, but I'm just saying, y'all was giving her hell because this is a nice young lady that know her stuff about sports.
Thanks, Will.
And I asked her for advice because she know what she talking about.
I appreciate you.
So y'all can back up.
All right.
Dang.
We'll see you in the new year.
Yeah, this is my last.
This is it. We'll see you in 2025. Oh, I get to start saying that. It's my
That's
favorite
crazy.
time of year.
Literally in 3 weeks.
It's let's circle back after the holidays. Who was that? Jacob?
That was CJ.
Oh, my fault. My mic was on. I apologize.
What was that?
He was. Oh my God. He was giving you one of those.
groaning at you.
Brother.
Oh, I thought that was Jacob.
No, it was me. So.
See you in 2025.
See you in 2025. Then.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back, do some TV Tuesday, what we are watching on TV. They tried to convince me that they were canceling Sesame Street, but I did some research, and that is not true. Thank the good Lord. We'll talk about Sesame Street, the Aaron Rodgers documentary, new season of White Lotus, all the things on TV right now. We'll get into it when we come back.
Hoop on the Grizzlies home court at Junior Grizzlies Game Day Clinics presented by Ortho South. Clinics are open to kids ages 6 to 14 and last 60 minutes. The next clinic tips off December 23rd, the same day the Grizzlies play the Clippers. All skill levels are welcome, from beginner to competitive athlete. Sign up now before spots sell out at grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies. Registration includes a Junior Grizzlies t-shirt and 2 tickets to the game that day.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Somebody who really has done what they were supposed to do, or maybe wasn't expected to do, is Jalen Wells, the Western Conference Rookie of the Month.
What you're seeing right now is him showing that, hey, no matter where I was going to go in the draft, I was going to be ready.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back. Before we get to TV Tuesday, 2 quick things. One, CJ, were you familiar with former Memphis Grizzly, never played an actual game for the Grizzlies, Giannis Tima? drafted by the Grizzlies in 2013.
Never heard of this person. R.I.P.
He died.
R.I.P. Well, I wish you wouldn't have set me up like that.
Okay.
I would have been like, no.
Yes, that's on me. That's on me.
I called this dead guy out of his name.
That's my bad.
R.I.P. to him, though. Thoughts and
I
prayers
was
to the
going
family.
through the process this morning when I saw some people tweeting former Memphis Grizzly, and I said, oh, no. And then I was like, oh, he was traded to the Magic on draft night. He played a summer league game, maybe a couple summer league games for the Magic, but he was from Latvia, and he allegedly, according to the early reports, committed suicide. And he had gone to play in Russia, and that made people in Latvia mad because there's a rule that you don't play for Russia. Like, you lose your rights to play for the country if you go play for Russia. And he did it anyway. And his ex-wife was involved some way. But anyway, that was a really poor way of saying R.I.P. Giannis Tima. I didn't know if people were well familiar. The way people were responding on Twitter, I thought perhaps Giannis Timo was like a beloved
I take my RIP
second-round
back.
draft
Like,
pick
I don't know anything about this person. Thoughts and prayers to the family,
He had a
though.
successful EuroLeague career. He was 32. He was my age, born in 1992.
Well, he decided to pit Russia.
And his ex-wife was Ukrainian.
Okay, so he decided to pit Russia before his country, like, and I don't
And
rock
his
with
ex-wife.
Russians, so like, yeah, he might be the ops. I don't know. I don't have any sympathy
But
for
all the
ops.
articles kept calling him NBA legend, so I thought maybe I was missing something despite the fact that he only played. Yeah. I wasn't here in 2013.
Neither was
Again,
he.
neither was he.
Jessica. Want to talk about some dude who's probably a Russian spy who may very well have not committed suicide. Also,
Let's pivot to the next one.
like I know Russia. They
that
got
was
a
my
history.
first-
They got a
wait.
history of doing things like this, don't they? Like,
Yes,
oh, you
that was
think you're
my
gonna
first-
leave
he
us
was
and play
found-
for Latvia?
He was found at the bottom of, I think, a stairwell within a building, like some chute that he allegedly jumped off.
Mhm.
And when I first saw it, I was like, okay, he's in Russia, allegedly jumped off, I'm sure. But then saw all the things that, like, he chose to go play over there. So anyway, R.I.P. Giannis.
No, we don't.
Tima,
We
whose
need
name
more
I had to look
information.
at basketballreference.com to make sure I was pronouncing it properly.
Need more information about this. Again, anybody dies, it's sad. Thoughts and prayers to the family. Or
When we were talking
Mhm.
before the show, in your surly state, one of the people you took aim at was Caleb Williams, who I did watch the All-USC Quarterback Bowl last night between Sam Darnold and Caleb Williams. And just like Will Levis gave us very funny memes early in the season, Caleb Williams was a meme machine himself last night. This moment on the bench.
He looks like a badass toddler.
He just wanted to go home. He was having big feelings, big emotions. When you literally end up on the ground, dead position, that describes the Bears season right there. Don't worry. They're so close to being fixed. They just need a new coach and a new owner and a new GM and a new offensive line and for Caleb Williams to be better.
Yeah, and a better quarterback.
I still believe, and biased, will forever root for my fight on forever, Caleb Williams. I believe his potential is still there. However, as a longtime Justin Fields truther, I am also here to make sure the people understand that when Justin Fields was healthy last season, the Chicago Bears went 5-3 and averaged 24 points. And in the last 8 games for the Chicago Bears under Caleb Williams, they are 0-8, averaging 14 points. Justin Fields was never the premier issue for the Chicago Bears. Period. Dot. The end.
They
Still makes me mad.
They traded him, or they traded him, let him go. They traded him.
Didn't they let him go?
Okay, they let him go. No, I think they traded him to the Steelers.
Who'd
Either
they
way
trade
it
him
goes,
for?
I don't remember. Either way it goes, he's no
okay,
longer.
sorry. They traded him for a 6th-round pick.
They traded him because they wanted that clock to reset.
Yes.
On paying a rookie, on paying a quarterback.
Yes.
Because they were going to have to decide whether or not to pay Justin Fields this year. And they were like, hey, why do that when we can get a good quarterback in Caleb Williams, who I do still think is a good quarterback? And that's the decision they made. We're going to send that guy away so that we get a cheaper version of that and hope this guy hits much sooner than that guy hit. That guy has got to, and Caleb Williams has got to do a better job anticipating throws Troy Aikman brought this up time and time again on the broadcast. It's like, hey, this dude is open right now. He's not going to be open for long, but he's open right now. And he misses those guys routinely. And Troy Aikman also brought this up, that in college, you're studying your offense, whereas in the pros, you're studying your offense and the opposing team's defense. And that is a hard adjustment to make for young quarterbacks, knowing how to study defenses so that when you see them pre-snap, you already know, hey, the right play is going to be this over here. Let me quickly make my reads and then get to this guy right here because he's going to be open for just a split second. And there are plays where Dunze is open middle of the field. Keenan Allen is open on the sideline. You've got tight ends or running backs breaking open into the flat. And Caleb Williams is taking too long to get through his progressions and doesn't anticipate them being open before the snap. And if he can figure that stuff out, he'll be much better. He'll be fine. But that Bears team is
sad. Every day, every single day I wake up and I thank the good Lord above that I was not born a Chicago Bears fan. It seems like one of the most miserable existences of all sports fans. Who are the most miserable sports fans in the world?
Lions?
They're good right now.
Right now.
Yeah,
right
I know,
now.
but it doesn't.
Right
so
now.
if right
are we,
now,
are we just taking it right now?
Like the Mets have had their problems, but right now I'm not going to say the Mets fans are miserable. They
So
just got Juan Soto.
we're not doing historical.
We're doing
right now.
Like who is sitting in their misery, and it doesn't appear. I'd put the Browns in that mix.
Yeah.
Jaguars. But they deserve it.
Jaguars.
I don't feel bad for the Browns.
No, I don't feel bad for any of these
Jags.
teams. Jags are
The
right
Washington
now.
Wizards. But are there real Washington Wizards fans left is the question.
That was, I had that very same thought this morning walking in.
Who is a Wizards fan?
Like if the Wizards hosted a 7-game series
Who
right
shows
now,
up?
the other team shows up.
Like if the Wizards somehow played their way into the NBA Cup, who is supporting the Washington Wizards?
Nobody.
I don't think many people are going to that game anyway. I saw the ticket prices and like the attendance at this point was questionable. They'll find a way. It's Las Vegas. You can get people in a building in Las Vegas. Same thing happened for the Raiders game last night. It was their lowest attended game of the year, and there were still butts in the seats. Despite the get-in price for that Falcons-Raiders game, that crappy game was $110.
Ain't no way in hell.
$110. Okay. The Raiders are in that mix of sad, miserable teams.
Giants?
But they kind of deserve it too because they left Oakland.
Giants?
Giants.
Yeah.
Jets.
Yeah.
Jets are definitely.
Yeah, both of
That's
them.
a lot.
Yeah.
But true misery, like, I think the Bears seeps into, like, they can't get over it.
Get over what?
Sadness. They
Don't
feel
they
the
have
sadness.
more hope?
There's more.
They have more hope because we
The
still
others are
don't know
more
about
apathetic.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah. The others are more apathetic. The Bears continue to let their hopes. Kind of reminds me of USC. Wow, the connectivity there. And then the hope dies year in, year out.
Who's another
in
team
tragic
that is just
fashion.
void of hope right
Like
now?
if Shakespeare was writing about one team, I think he would pick the Bears. They are the great tragedy.
What's up with the Trailblazers? Are we still?
Oh,
are they
so
still?
sad.
Are they? But is there
Did you
hope
see-
there?
I saw
Like,
somebody-
Are fans full of hope up in
No.
Portland? Okay.
No. I saw somebody
them in there.
yesterday say the G League is going to have to answer for their G League Ignite. I don't want to blame the G League. That's not the problem. The G League Ignite is going to have to answer for their sins because Scoot Henderson has been so bad
But
for the
the
Trailblazers.
Twins are good, aren't they?
They
What's-
can be. They're still
Yeah.
young. They're younger than. Aren't they 1 year younger than Scoot? Or are they the
They
same
all
class
came.
as Scoot?
They all came into the league at the same
They
time.
did?
Yeah.
Well, so some success, some not. Anyway, I'm just glad that the Memphis Grizzlies aren't sad and downtrodden like the Bears. Let's do a little TV Tuesday on our way out. Are you watching anything good right now? You've been out of town, so you're in that space where.
Yeah, no, I can't think of a TV show. I started. What's the funny hospital new comedy on NBC with David Atlan Greer? I've started that in the hopes of recapturing some sort of magic that
Like
Scrubs
Scrubs?
had.
No.
It's
St. Dennis Medical.
There we go. It is. I don't know if you ever watched American Auto, but it reminds me of American Auto just in a hospital. It's fine background noise as I turn my mind off for the evening. But outside of that, nothing immediately comes to mind. I started Creature Commander or Commando. I can't remember what it's called on HBO Max, the cartoon that follows Flag, his father. Flag from Suicide Squad. that guy who was in charge of that, he has a father. The father is now in charge of a bunch of different creatures who are off doing some type of mission. So I've started that. Oh, Beastar is back. So I'm 3 episodes into Beastar. I have watched a lot of TV. Beastar is back.
You've been out of town for 3 days and still watched more television in the last week than I have.
Are you familiar with Beastar?
No.
This is one of those like weird ass CJ type shows.
Of course.
So it's all these beasts that are like people, and like
Beastar.
Beastar.
Oh, I
yes.
heard B-Star.
No,
like
Beast.
not an A-star, a B-Star.
Beast
Okay.
Star. And so there's ongoing simmering beef between predators and prey, where it is, hey, don't eat us, and we're going to exist in this world together. Weirdness pops off. There's a black market because, of course, there is. You get prey that gets addicted and strung out on drugs, and so they have nothing left to sell but parts of themselves. So they'll go up, like you'll have a deer go up to this random tiger, like, hey, check it out. You can eat my leg for $500. And like that stuff is going on. There's a relationship. There's a romantic relationship where they have relations. They have relations between a rabbit and a wolf. And it's so dramatic and so serious, so real. I laugh all the time at it, and I shouldn't be. But season 3, this is the last season. It's good stuff. So, yeah, those are the things I'm
Thank
watching.
you for your stamp of approval.
Yeah. That made me happy
I
to
started
talk
that
about.
Ted Danson show you recommended,
Oh,
Man
how's
on the
it?
Inside.
How many
I'm enjoying
episodes?
it. I'm 3 episodes
Okay.
in.
We gotta
I
get
like
back
the
to that.
concept. It's funny. He's an older gentleman who's looking for a purpose and becomes a spy in a nursing home. And I've told my mom to watch it. I should tell my dad to watch it. If you're watching, Dad, you should watch it too. I think it's just a cute concept. It's a very pure show, and at one point, it became a show that I wished I was watching with Chris, not because I think he would love it. I'm watching it while I work out. We were dog sitting where we were working out separate, so I had to watch something different. Our choice of watching as we work out together is that Locked Up show where they let the prisoners in a detention center in Arkansas roam free, live their life, try to treat them more as like responsible humans. We watched an episode of that yesterday. Didn't last 24 hours without something popping off in there.
Wait. People who are locked up for not following the rules can't follow the rules?
So I found this really interesting when we traveled to Iceland.
Okay.
The way that some other countries run their prisons is more of an like open air concept, for lack of a better term, where you are in prison, you cannot go out into the world, but you're treated like a person. You're not stuck in a cell. They don't believe in solitary confinement. It's the notion of like if you create a world where these people have jobs and regimen and like roles within that community, you can create another community, and that really helps with rehabilitation. And in the chance that you're able to get out of prison, you're able to be reintroduced in society in a way that does not follow the vicious cycle of you in prison, you get out, you go back because you become just a part of that system. But what's interesting to see really take place, at least in the first 24 hours of them being out, is you have a lot of the older men trying to like step up and create the system and create rules and regulations for everyone to follow. Like, hey, don't mess this up. We really want this to work. This is awesome. Like, we have a chance to kind of have a new life in here and to be in a better position to function when we hopefully get out someday. And the young guys are like, screw these old men. Like, these old heads who don't know anything that they're talking about. We're all prisoners in here. Why am I going to listen to somebody who's in here for something worse than I'm in here for? Like, that's not, this one guy's in there for capital murder. Like, I'm not going to listen to this guy who murdered somebody. And so seeing how that takes place and just like devolves, again, we're 2 episodes in. The first was setting it all up. The second is the first 24 hours. I think there's 4 episodes total. And I never really saw anything like come out of this show from a conversation standpoint. So I don't know if it worked or not, or what they viewed of it as working. But I do think there's something to be said of figuring out a way to rehabilitate people in a more successful way. What stood out to me was so many of these people have drug problems. Like one guy said, I first tried meth when I was 8 years old. Ooh, that's tough. That's gonna be a tough thing to get over. So why not having like drug counselors within this program and different versions of therapy? Like you can't just expect somebody who has been finding a way to use while still being in prison to suddenly have like open doors and they're like, by God, now I don't want to use drugs. That stood out to me. Anyway, between that, Man on the Inside, watching Shrinking, which is great. That season of Shrinking, the one that came out this year, is one of my favorite seasons of television that I've watched this year so far. So that's really it, though. I'm not going to watch the Aaron Rodgers documentary. I don't have to. I never had to, but I feel deeply about this now because he's not good.
He's
like
not
Aaron
good
Rodgers,
enough to warrant attention.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he's also not an enigma. I'm just confused why that was the name chosen for this show, because an enigma is a person or a thing that is mysterious, puzzling, or difficult to understand. And while Aaron Rodgers may be puzzling in his choices, like him as a person, he's not puzzling, he's not mysterious. He's out there every week on the Pat McAfee show. He's in press conferences constantly. I get that. I think Aaron Rodgers thinks people want to know more about Aaron Rodgers than people actually want to know about Aaron Rodgers. I don't know who is going and looked at the date today and said, it's December 17th. I can't wait to watch Aaron Rodgers' Enigma on Netflix. It's a 3-parter. And there was something very freeing this morning when I realized, you know what? I don't have to watch it. I don't want to watch it. I'm not going to watch it. That's cool.
Some people are just weird, man.
Yeah.
We don't need think pieces on everything. Think pieces are ruining us. We don't need more information on them. We all went to school. I think so. I don't know when that homeschool generation is coming up, so they might be young adults right now. I'm not really sure. But most of us went to school, and there was just a kid in the class who was weird. Wasn't mean, didn't do anything super disruptive, but you looked at him or her, it's like, oh, that's just a weird kid. And then you just kept it moving, right? Like, that's kind of where I am. Not kind of. That is 1,000% where I am with these weird dudes. Is, oh, he's just weird. The Darkness Retreat, all right, Aaron Rodgers is weird. He's going to keep doing. He's going to keep doing these things, and we're going to pay it attention as a collective. But I, as an individual, I'm not going to pay him any attention. And there's a list of weird people who's like, oh, they're just weird. They're doing some things for attention. And I'm not going to pay it attention.
Perfect example right now. Ooh. Not perfect. No, I'm sorry. That was bad connectivity.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is there's so much going on in the world, in life, in your own life. And I know this is kind of counterproductive because we come on here and talk about a variety of things every day, but I do have a variety of interests. But one of those is not just random celebrity lives or pseudo-celebrity lives. Like the Travis Hunter girlfriend situation that has taken over the internet. Couldn't care less. She put out an 8-minute video. Good for her.
8 minutes on what?
8 minutes. I'm not going to read that. Good for you. I'm not going to read that. On how she responded at the Heisman. And like, look, I'm not saying this in a negative way to her. My first instinct, women supporting women, like, you become the ire of the internet and things can snowball very quickly. And I get she's taken a lot. But like Travis Hunter made a video about it. She made a video about it. Some people care so deeply. I don't care.
Hey,
that's cool. If you care, cool. If you care about watching the Aaron Rodgers Enigma documentary, that was made for you. It just wasn't made for me.
If you want to talk about it, I'll listen, but don't think that I want to hear it. 8 minutes is the length of the Chris Rock monologue on Saturday Night Live, which was great.
And I still haven't had time to watch that.
It is great. Yeah, I'm not doing 8 minutes on you because you're somebody's girlfriend who did something or another or didn't do. I don't even know what happened. And don't nobody tell me. No, because I couldn't care.
I know what happened in the moment, but I don't understand the outrage from people. She didn't stand. Like, it was on camera that it looked like Deion Sanders had to nudge her to stand up to congratulate Travis Hunter, but she was clapping. And I swear to God, this girl, if she moves her pinky wrong, everyone is ready to jump and be like, drop her, get rid of her. That's their relationship. That's between them. Anyway, one last thing, because I promised we would get to it, and I did find this an interesting story from the week, was the news that Max is dropping Sesame Street in the future. And it was like, oh no, David Zaslav is a monster if he's gonna cut Sesame Street. I cannot believe we're canceling Sesame Street in this economy. They're not canceling Sesame Street. So Warner Brothers has decided not to renew their deal to release new episodes of Sesame Street. Sesame Workshop, who owns Sesame Street is now looking for a new studio to release new episodes, and it is assumed that they will find a new studio to release new episodes. The current way that Sesame Street was working, because I'm not the demographic for Sesame Street right now, I see the clips. I saw Elmo and Andrew Garfield talking about grief in a very impactful and passionate way. I cried watching that, but I don't consume episodes of Sesame Street. They were dropping on Max, and then weeks later, they would be aired on PBS, and you would be able to get them on YouTube. So they are still free. They're just aired on the network that owns them first, because we do not put enough funding into public broadcasting, i.e. PBS, and so they needed to find a more financially stable way to stay afloat and to fund the creation of Sesame Street. So they will be looking for a new home. They have the option of a variety of places like Amazon. You could see them on Disney. People have pointed out that Jim Henson didn't want Sesame Street on Disney. What it really was Jim Henson wanted Sesame Workshop to still own Sesame Street so that they could own the characters, and this time around that is the case. So if that continued to be a package deal, then Disney certainly could be a place for it. But Sesame Street's not going anywhere, and I think that's important and good news for all. I mean, it's going somewhere new. It's just not going away.
Did Ernie have a son?
No.
Okay, I'm
Maybe.
I got.
I mean, I don't know.
So Jacob, throw the tweet back up.
Did they adopt?
I don't. Who? Bert and Ernie?
Yeah.
Come on, Jessica, stop pushing your woke agenda. I've got Bert.
Wait,
Ernie.
didn't they come out?
Did they?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I swear Bert and
Are
Ernie
you
came
sure?
out.
Because I think you're pushing an agenda.
I don't want to out them.
And that's why we got to cancel these shows. Bert, Ernie, Elmo, Cookie Monster.
No, they didn't come out. Wait, yes, they did. In 2018. Bert and Ernie are indeed a gay couple, Sesame Street writer claims.
So was there an episode?
This is why AI is bad.
Was there an episode?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Because I feel like we'd be talking about a Bert and Ernie coming out episode. We'd all be like, finally.
AI would tell you, like the AI overview answer says, Bert and Ernie are not gay. They are simply best friends. I know a lot of best friends who've been around for a long time of that generation, of Bert and Ernie's generation. But then one of the writers said that they were a gay couple. Let them live their truth.
We've got autistic kids, autistic Muppets on the Sesame Street. We got a Muppet with HIV on Sesame Street. Like, if they wanted those two to be gay, they'd have the gay episode.
This is dramatic because then I'm seeing a Sesame Street writer, or I'm sorry, Sesame Street denied Sesame Street's writer's claim that Bert and Ernie are gay.
See?
Oh, God.
So as of now, it's not canon. They aren't. What I was trying to do.
It's canon to me.
What I was trying to do was name the characters on the screen, Jessica. Because some of them I'm unfamiliar with, but you and your woke agenda had to bring the gayness in here.
Well, you said they had a son. You said, did Ernie have a son?
Yeah, I didn't say anything about Bert.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh my gosh, if Ernie had a son with a woman and Bert.
Jessica, we got to end this. As like usual, you're right, Jacob. Like usual, I was right as the most right person on this show. As it pertains to the sexuality of Bert and Ernie, I am the correct one. I am the right one. I'm the most right person in GCM. The dude to the left of Ernie. Right there, right behind Elmo. Like, that looks like Ernie. Is that Ernie? Like, again, I got Bert, Ernie, Cookie Monster, Elmo, Oscar, Big Bird. Is that Abby down underneath Elmo, the one?
Yeah.
So I got Abigail or Abby, whatever we call her. And then those
who's
three
the guy
right
next
there.
to Ernie?
I have no clue. But according to Jessica, she'll have you believe she's pushing an agenda.
Ernie's arm is literally around Bert.
Because they're friends, Jessica.
When's the last time you had your arm around your male best friend?
That's different. Nobody's arm is around Oscar the Grouch, and that's what I identify as.
No one can have an arm around Oscar the Grouch.
Exactly.
He lives in a trash can.
Exactly. So I don't touch anybody, and nobody touches me. Come out my rat-infested trash can and say mean things to people like Oscar does. He and I are the same. So yeah, that's why. Stop trying to make them gay.
I am moving on without saying something, and that's on growth. Everybody have a great rest of your Tuesday.
I kind of want to know what you were saying.
We will see you on Wednesday. D'Angelo Williams will join us. We'll be one day closer to Grizzlies Warriors. We have the Tigers in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Somebody brought up Timon and Pumbaa. Do we need to do like a draft of like not gay but
No, I don't think
couples?
we're allowed to do that.
Can we not?
I don't know. I don't think our network is woke enough where like it would be seen as like we would do it from an ally perspective, but it could be misconstrued. I wouldn't want it to be misconstrued.
As what?
As like being, I don't want to out cartoon characters.
You don't want to out Timon and Pumbaa?
No, I want to help them
Okay.
live their truths.
All right.
I want them to know that I'm here
Come
for
on
them.
out, it's safe.
I want
It's
them to
safe
know that I would
outside.
love to go see the Cher Tour 2027, speak it into existence. DJ, play my Christmas song. Cause I wanna keep dancing
Who's
all
another
night
good
long.
couple
Elsa.
like that?
Elsa doesn't have a partner, but Elsa
No,
is.
No, Buzz and Woody are different.
Yeah,
'Cause
Buzz and Woody are
Buzz
different.
Buzz is
Well-
with Jesse. Woody is with Bo Peep.
True.
Yeah.
But is it a
oh, no.
Brokeback situation?
Oh, hot damn.
Like, do they take a trip once a year together and they have the time of their lives?
Okay.
I've been thinking about rewatching Brokeback Mountain. I haven't seen it since I was far too young to understand how good Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger were in that movie. All right. Go Tigers, go. One more for Seth. You think you're really thinking about this? aren't
I
you?
am. I'm like, well, that's
How about
pedophilia,
Cat
Jacob.
Dog?
Stop it.
Is Cat Dog?
That's one thing.
What? SpongeBob and Patrick.
No.
I think they're asexual.
Yeah, that
What did
too.
he
They're
say?
also children.
SpongeBob and Patrick are children?
I think so. Wait, how
SpongeBob's
does
a
a
grown
child?
man.
Well,
he's a grown sponge.
Jacob brings up a good point. SpongeBob is trying to get his driver's license. I would counter with SpongeBob has a full-on 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
What type of child labor laws do they have in Bikini Bottom?
Well, Mr. Krabs does definitely run a sweatshop.
Okay.
All right, we'll keep thinking about it. We'll be back tomorrow.
Like Bugs Bunny is absolutely, but he's not a couple with
Oh,
anybody.
Squidward though. Squidward's for sure.
Are we sure?
Yes. He plays an oboe.